You are paying a hidden cost by not doing a daily review. Let me explain. I'm Camden Bucey, and this is Squared Away Life. Now, every morning I wake up and look at my notes from 1 week ago, 1 month ago, and every year prior to that. It only takes me about 15 minutes, but coupled with prayer and meditation, this is the highest ROI, return on investment activity in my entire day. And here's why. We all live in what I call an endless present. We're so locked into today's urgencies that we lose sight of patterns. We forget lessons that we've already learned. We repeatedly solve the same problems from scratch. We're always living in the now, thinking that what's happening right now is not only the most important thing, but also the only thing. But think about it. How often have you faced a challenge and thought, this feels completely new and overwhelming, only to realize later that you've made it through something similar before? Well, let me introduce to you to the 3 horizons. My daily review uses 3 specific time horizons. I mentioned 1 week ago, that catches things that might slip through the cracks. 1 month ago, that reveals patterns and tracks experiments. And then 1 year ago, that shows real growth and really starts to expose recurring themes and seasonalities. So for example, on September 15th, for example, I would review all my notes from September 8th, from August 15th of that same year, and then every previous September 15th going back as long as I have records. Now, just this morning, I reviewed 2 notes from the past year, one from a time when I was struggling with a little medical issue that doctors kept misdiagnosing. The standard treatment was actually making it worse. But another happened, the note was taken as a result of a really important meeting about my organization's strategic direction. But now, as I reviewed those notes, which were presented to me in my daily review, the health issue that at the time seemed endless and completely a barrier to peace was completely and entirely resolved after a helpful meeting with the doctor who finally got to the root of the issue. And then the strategic plan that I was so nervous to propose, well, it's now the foundation of an exciting new chapter for our organization. Now, these unprecedented challenges, these things which were at the time huge barriers, I came to realize that I'd handled other things like this before, other seemingly giant issues in my life I've worked through. I just couldn't remember them in the moment because I was living in the present entirely, like an eternal present. And that perspective shift from, I don't know how to handle this, to, I've conquered something like this before, that changes everything. Now, here's what nobody tells you about reviewing your past notes. Lots of people journal. Lots of people write things down. They collect their thoughts, but almost nobody reviews them. And here's what nobody tells you about that. The value compounds exponentially. Every note becomes more valuable when it's connected to other notes. If you're not just collecting your thoughts, but you're actually connecting your thoughts, then the value of your notes increases even more than the incremental value of that specific note. When you start to link all of your notes together, patterns start to emerge, insights start to crystallize, and you stop repeating mistakes and you start building on your victories. It snowballs, it compounds. You start to build knowledge equity. But first, you need something to review. And so in my next video, I'll share the dead simple capture system that makes this all possible, even if you failed at journaling before. Stay tuned for the next video. Are you ready to implement the daily review method that I've introduced? Well, I host a live webinar training where I'll walk you through my complete system, including templates, tools, and troubleshooting common obstacles. You can learn more and register at squaredawaylife.com/daily review.